Welcome to Champ Week on ESPN. It's the MEAC quarterfinal matchup. Glad to have you with us from the Norfolk Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. A 4 versus 5 matchup. The 4 seed Norfolk State Spartans taking on the 5 seed South Carolina State Bulldogs. Take a look at what we've had thus far in our bracket. One game last night, and it was a doozy, a huge upset. The number 7 seed Delaware State Hornets taking down the number 2 seed Morgan State Bears. They will take on the winner of North Carolina Central and Maryland Eastern Shore. That game to follow tonight. The winner of this one, they will take on the 1 seed Howard Bison tomorrow night. Glad to have you with us alongside the legendary coach, Cy Alexander. I'm Kip McConico. Coach, not just a great quarterfinal matchup. This is a championship matchup, a rematch of last year's championship. Spartans are able to get the victory. Bulldogs looking for a little revenge tonight.
I tell you what, March Madness is alive and well. We've got 2 teams that played in the championship game last year, and it's ironic. Norfolk State has beaten South Carolina State 18 out of the last 20, 2-0 against them this year.
They have indeed. Bulldogs looking to turn the tables. They saw the upset last night, hoping they can do the same. Take a look at the keys. What are you keeping an eye on?
I tell you what, South Carolina State needs to make 3-point shots. They also need to dominate the boards. As far as Norfolk State is concerned, they need to be able to handle the Bulldogs' trapping defense, and McComb and Jamison need to play well on offense.
Ready to get things underway. Norfolk State in the green and gold, the home side here in their hometown. And they are hoping that is going to give them the advantage. Take a look at their head coach, Robert Jones, what success he has had here in Norfolk. This team, they have been one of the best for some time. 3rd conference championship in the last 5 seasons. Last year, the only other team that has picked up a title in the last 5 is the Bison, who we'll see tomorrow. And on the other end of things, 4th year in charge of the Bulldogs, Eric Martin, down in the Palmetto State. South Carolina State taking the opening tip.
This should be a very competitive ball game as the Norfolk State Spartans open up in man-to-man.
Looking underneath. You mentioned the huge advantage in the last 19 games, all but 1 in favor of the Spartans. Bulldogs looking for a hot start, no doubt here. Out of bounds. Spartans ball early. Again, glad to have you with us. A very warm welcome wherever you may be joining us from. The MEAC on ESPN. No conference does it like the MEAC does, and I can safely say that. The energy, the electricity, and we got it firing off last night with that huge upset by the Hornets. Bulldogs.
That was a heck of a game we had last night.
It certainly was. Spartans looking to find something here early.
Both teams are starting in man-to-man. It's very, very competitive, very intense. Oh, nice run at that time by McComb.
And that is Anthony McComb III, the senior from Dayton, transfer from New Hampshire. He is the one to keep an eye on. First team all-conference, leads this team in points scored. Turned over. Bulldogs unable to find anything. First 2 trips down the floor.
First to the floor.
Again, McComb trying to make things happen.
Being very aggressive on the offensive end.
Bulldogs with the rebound, ends up in the hands of Johnson, Jaden Johnson. He's going to need to have a big game tonight. Bulldogs trying to slow things down a little bit here. Underneath. The bucket and the foul will send Jaden Johnson to the line, the sophomore from Brooklyn out of Cushing Academy in Massachusetts.
He reminds me so much of John Lucas. Luke was the guy who you knew he was going to his left. And you see right here, real strong move by Jaden Johnson. But this young man, you know he's going left, but you still can't stop it. And that's the way John Lucas was. So kudos to Johnson. He's got a chance to be a very, very good basketball player. Excellent excellent free throw that time.
78% free throw shooter, knocks it down, puts the Bulldogs on top for the first time. Bulldogs looking to apply a little half-court pressure. Easily broken. Ellis now underneath, right at the big man. Koji possibly altering that shot, the 7'1" junior from Texas. Johnson looking to go right back to work.
As you see the Spartans are trapping ball screens. Good hands that time defensively.
Hodge collects and finishes. Derwin Hodge Jr., the freshman from Sewanee, Georgia, with his first field goal.
As you see, as we talked about our keys, the Bulldogs are going to apply pressure all night long in various different ways. Traps, 1-2, 2-3-quarter, 1-2-1-1, 1-3, 1/2 court. They're going to apply different types of traps to definitely slow you up on the offensive end.
Driving into the mid play by Hodge. Here they come in the front court. Miles finishes, and it's a 5-point Bulldogs lead. South Carolina State off to a roaring start.
As you can see, that defensive pressure is creating havoc for the Bulldogs.
And a big response, much needed from Jordan Leaks, the redshirt sophomore, the local product from just down the road in Hampton, Virginia. I should say just across the bridge, to be more accurate. Johnson slowing things down, and you were effusive in your praise for Johnson. He leads this team in points, 43% field goal shooter. Here's that little floater you told me about off the glass. You called it, Coach.
I tell you what, he can get to that left. He shoots that little floater off the glass. He's perfected that particular offensive move.
McComb with the response. That is a man you have to lock down. One of the best in conference, Anthony McComb III.
It's important that McComb and Jamison, when he comes into the game, just won 6th Man of the Year award in the MEAC, that they play well. Oh, nice. Oh, excellent basketball that time by the Bulldogs.
And the two-hand finish from Akoji, the big 7'1" Texan with the flush. Simply too easy. Back to a 5-point Bulldogs lead. South Carolina State, this is a team that they play. They like to pressure the opponents. And a timeout taken.
As you see, those trapping defenses are causing havoc for the Norfolk State Spartans.
So 4 minutes in, South Carolina State on top, 11-6 here in our second quarterfinal. Coach, talking about this South Carolina State team, you were the one you mentioned. You said, look, they are going to apply pressure. Welcome back. 15:59 remaining here in the first. South Carolina off to a great start. The number 5 seed Bulldogs, a 5-point lead. And they've done it with their last 5 field goals, 5 of 5 from the floor. Their 4th-year head coach Eric Martin, an assistant for Bob Huggins for 16 years, the man he played for at Cincinnati, and that style certainly has rubbed off on him. They are putting the pressure on Norfolk State, a team that is at home. They're playing in front of their fans, not their home arena, but it might as well be. There's a lot of green and gold here in the Norfolk Scope.
Behold the green and gold. And you see Coach Rob Jones hasn't wasted any time in getting the 6th Man of the Year into the ball game in Jamison. Also has got Mikael Jenkins in the game.
Elijah Jamison, the senior from North Carolina, on the first time we're seeing the MEAC 6th Man of the Year. He's a game changer. Treadwell.
Treadwell is a very confident player to be a young player. A nice dribble that time by Wright.
Wright unable to finish, did everything but knock it down, looking to go in transition. Here is EJ, Elijah Jamison, immediately looking to make an impact.
That was a soft pass that time, one that if he tries that again might get stolen, because South Carolina State is going to overplay and deny the passing lanes, and trapping ball screens. Both teams are trapping ball screens.
McComb lost it, a toe on the baseline, and it's turned over by the Spartans.
Again, Norfolk has got to be able to handle the defensive pressure by the Bulldogs.
That is one of the keys. Neil Wright, junior out of Inglewood, California. Treadwell now driving in. Great work from Treadwell for his first basket. Noah Treadwell, the freshman from Atlanta.
And he has come on, watched him play over the last 3 or 4 ball games, playing with a lot of confidence. And here we go with the 1-2-2 3-quarter trap, which basically they're not trying to steal the ball right now. They're just trying to slow the Spartans down offensively.
Just over 5 minutes in, South Carolina State with their largest lead thus far. And a whistle on the floor is going to go against the Bulldogs.
And again, fouls don't really matter to the Bulldogs because they're going to play so many players. Coach just wants everybody to play hard and to play smart and give 3 or 4 minutes of maximum effort, especially on the defensive end.
And speaking with the Bulldog staff before the game, there are 2 players not suited up, Colin McKenzie and Deshae Wright. They said everybody else, you'll probably see them. And there's a great leak out in transition. James Morrow, the junior from Jacksonville, Florida, with his first bucket.
As the Bulldogs are pushing it at every opportunity, getting some transition baskets.
Nearly knocked away. Ellis still with it, electing to calm things down. McComb, nothing there. Jameson stolen away, had his pocket picked by Wright. Bulldogs in transition, have the alley-oop. High flying was Cameron Clark, the senior from Georgia.
Cameron Clark, Coach Eric Martin told me he's the most talented big man he's coached since he's been at South Carolina State. He's an athlete that can run the floor, great hands. Bulldogs off to a 17-6 lead, playing exceptionally well on the defensive end and also very well in transition.
Bulldogs on an 8-0 run over the last 2:26, and they have made their last 3 field goals. Remember, they had a 5-for-5 run before the timeout taken by the Spartans. Now they've made the last 3 in a row. Spartans have not scored in the last 2 minutes and 43 seconds, and there will be a timeout on the floor with 13:51 remaining in the first half. 17-6, Bulldogs an 11-point lead. What a great quarterfinal we have here in Virginia.
And I tell you what, you know that Coach Martin is talking about that losing streak that they have to the Spartans. Lost 3 in a row this year. 2 in a row this year. The championship game last year, and overall have lost 18 out of the last 20 games versus the Norfolk State Spartans. Again, the Bulldogs playing pressure, trapping all over the court, man defense.
McComb in the corner. Nothing doing. Out he goes. Right forward, back to McComb. Trying to go inside. Spartans haven't really gone to the paint thus far. Knocked away. Newton lost it.
Another turnover created by the Bulldogs defense.
And the 5th turnover already by the Spartans. Underneath, inside, Clark. No opportunity for Cameron Clark. Wisely pulls it out to Johnson. Clark kicks out, 3. Rebound by Jenkins.
And Owen Brunson has done an excellent job this year for the Bulldogs shooting from the 3-point line. He's shooting right at 36% from the 3 line.
Kicked out McComb for 3. In and out, big rebound from Clark.
One and done.
Not getting second chance opportunities. Took the words right out of my mouth. Johnson the other way. Bulldogs really looking to turn the screws here with this 11-point lead. Coach, this is similar to what we saw last night in the first quarterfinal between Delaware State and Morgan State. Looking to go inside. Bulldogs stolen away, able to get hands on it was Keontae Lewis, the big 6'9" senior from Richmond.
Trying a little hollow action that time. It was poor spacing. It was a little bit too tight for what they wanted to try to do.
Spartans trying to slow things down and get a better look. Going inside, another miss from the Spartans. They have not scored in over 4.5 minutes.
Bulldogs are playing with super confidence on the defensive end. I'm really, really impressed about how hard they're playing. And that's what Brunson does. He's a three-point shooter.
Out of bounds, came off of Jenkins, so it'll stay Bulldogs ball. 11:39 remaining in the first. 17-6, South Carolina State on top. An 11-point lead for the Bulldogs. A rematch of last year's championship, which the Spartans of Norfolk State won. The Bulldogs 0-2 against the Spartans this year. But in the tournament, Coach, you know better than anybody. And it was, in fact, Coach Rob Jones of the Spartans who said this earlier this week to the Virginia Pilot. He goes, everybody's 0-0. You can throw the regular season out the window.
I tell you what, the Bulldogs, as we talked about, the key, Norfolk being able to handle South Carolina State's trapping defenses. So far, they haven't. The Bulldogs' defense has been the key to this league. It's been tenacious, outstanding. They're in the gaps. They're in the passing lane. They're blocking out, allowing one shot and one shot only, and that's leading to some transition offense.
That Bulldog defense has already forced 6 Spartan turnovers. They look to continue to press. You said it. They're going to get a lot of bodies in, a lot of numbers on the floor. Some new faces as well. Chris Parker, the junior from Columbia, South Carolina, wearing number 55, one of those. Derwin Hodge Jr. back on the floor. Here's Parker on cue and right into the action.
You called it right on cue. Nice little mid-range jump shot for Parker. Held his follow-through. Shot looked good.
Also on the floor, Jamal Miles, sophomore back there. Trying to get McComb back into business. He was the offense early on for the Spartans. McComb on the whistle will send Anthony McComb III to the line.
That was an excellent dribble drive that time by McComb. Here we go. Here's the replay. Strong to the basket. Got fouled. Nice little follow, but he was fouled on the play. He's an excellent free throw shooter. Shooting 79% from the foul line.
Noah Treadwell charged with the foul. The freshman from Atlanta picking up his first. Now you said it. I mean, McComb's such an impressive player. First team All MEAC, New Hampshire transfer, leads the Spartans with 17 points a game. That's 5th best in conference. But not just a talented scorer. He can get it done from the line.
Right. He's shooting 42% from the field, 38% from the three line, 79% from the foul line. An all-around solid player, averaging right at 4 rebounds a game.
Bulldogs nearly lost it. Ball on the deck. Both teams vying for it. Spartans come up with it. McComb. Back to Elijah Jamison.
He's somebody that's got to get going because he's an offensive spark plug off the bench for the Spartans.
Jamison, 6th player of the year in conference, knocked away. Derwin Hodge Jr. there, and a whistle going to go against the Spartans, but full credit to Hodge. Did a fantastic job reading that pass, was able to front it and knock it away.
Got his hand in the passing lane. I just saw Coach Rob Jones mouth to Ellis shoot the ball. He was wide open. He tried to be unselfish and throw it where he wasn't really open at.
Coach Jones, 13 years in charge. What a job he's been able to do. 5 regular season titles, 3 tournament titles. They're in a battle today. And out of bounds, that's not the first time we've seen that, as Noah Treadwell, a heel on the sideline. I'm not sure if it's the new court, the dimensions they're not quite used to, but we saw that last night in the first quarterfinal as well.
Exactly, and I've seen it all year. It's crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
So an unforced turnover there. That is just the 4th by the Bulldogs.
Now the Bulldogs have changed up and gone into a 2-1-2 matchup zone.
EJ pulls up from the elbow. Ellis with the rebound and the putback.
And Coach Jones talks about Devon Ellis, saying he could be one of the better players in the country if he was locked in all the time. He says he's a kind of guy that will kind of just go to sleep on the court. But as far as the physical talent is concerned, Coach Jones says the young man has it, but sometimes just falls asleep, and he has to really get into him to wake him up a little bit. But that was a nice offensive board. They need a big game from Ellis tonight.
Valparaiso transfer, able to complete the three-point play, hits the free throw, the 67% free throw shooter. Bulldogs lead now to single digits halfway through the first 20 minutes. South Carolina State really dictating. Parker underneath.
And both teams have now switched their defenses. Coach Jones, who's a master at changing defenses, has now gone to a 1-2-2 matchup zone.
Yeah, you and I were talking about these two coaches, and obviously such impressive resumes. Coach Jones, what he's been able to do there. 13 years with the Spartans, and they've just continued to get better year in and year out. That's all you can ask for. The defending champions, not the #1 seed. In fact, a 4 seed this year, a position they're unaccustomed to being in. Unable to hold it through the fingertips of Clark. Jamison the other way. High off the glass will draw the foul, and Elijah Jamison will head to the line.
He's a blur. I tell you what, he gets from one end of that court to the other in about 3 seconds. Here's the replay. Drew the foul. Tried to kiss it off the glass. Got a chance to go to the line and get 2 more. They've cut into this lead with 9:39 to go. It's now a single-digit lead, 19-11, and it's now 19-12.
80% free throw shooter hits the first. His first free throws in the ball game.
This young man has a chance to be a next-level player with his speed and his offensive skills.
Transfer from UNC Wilmington. Knocks them both down. 19-13, 6-point game. Spartans starting to mount the comeback.
And now both teams are applying some full court pressure. Teams that press sometimes don't like to be pressed.
Johnson back on. Tenabe as well, the senior from Martinique.
Spartans in a 1-2-2 matchup zone. Bulldogs trying to figure out what they want their offensive zone offense to be.
Going back inside, trying to find Hodge. He couldn't finish with the jump hook. EJ flying up the floor. And lost his footing. It's going to be out of bounds. Jamison last to touch it.
He just lost his footing that time. A little slippery spot. They're trying to work on it right now on the court. As you see here on the replay, right there, he just lost his footing. He was on the move.
Fast as he is, maybe the only thing that can stop him in transition.
No doubt.
Johnson looking inside. Clark. And the 3 short that time from Braunston. Johnson with the steal. Johnson draws the foul. A late whistle. Spartan fans unhappy, and Johnson is still down underneath the basket. Is the sophomore from Brooklyn.
Are they calling it a shooting foul?
That is what Coach Jones wants to know. We will see. Is Coach Martin out to check on his star?
Here's the replay here. I don't see how they can call that a shooting foul. We'll see in just a second. He landed pretty hard on that floor.
Jane Johnson back on his feet, always good to see, and trying to shake it off. But as you said, difficult to tell there. He was already on the other side of the backboard.
He was kind of throwing it back. It'd be interesting to see if they call it a shooting foul, because I don't see it myself. But
our officials are going to take a look. Our officials, Haywood Bostic, Galen Durant, CJ Middlebrooks, our crew for today's contest.
Mr. Bostic is a veteran of this game and called a lot of my games. An excellent official.
Well, we have the best teams. We have the best officials. That is not by accident. So no foul, simply out of bounds. It'll stay Spartans, or excuse me, it will be rather Bulldogs ball. Johnson waiting to get let back in over at the scorers table. Melo Baines for the Spartans set to check in as well. Able to get it in the nick of time. Braunston.
And the young man Wright does an excellent job coming off the bench for the Bulldogs as the backup point guard.
Neil Wright, but it'll be back to Clark trying to spin and get free. Clark, soft touch, nothing but net from big number 4, Cameron Clark.
Nice little jump hook that time. Got his feet set, held his follow through. Nice extension on the jump hook.
You said it earlier, Coach Martin singing his praises. One of the best big men he's coached for the Bulldogs. That's high praise indeed. Tenebay with the rebound.
Nice two-handed rebound that time by Florin Tenebay.
And another turnover, another foot on the sideline. The second time the Bulldogs have done that in almost the same spot.
Almost the exact same spot. Unbelievable.
Oh, and Braunston Jr., he can only smile. Not a lot else you can do in that situation.
A little floppy action right now.
Jamison back on, has the floor general. Here is EJ, right at Tenebay, off the glass, and finishes, does Elijah Jamison.
Going into his bag of tricks that time.
You said it, he's a blur. Tenebay for 3.
That's a shot Tenebay needs to hit.
Treadwell, another miss. Out to Johnson. Has a man in transition. It's Jenkins, and 1 for Michael Jenkins.
As the Spartans are slowly cutting it into this lead.
All of a sudden, it's a 4-point game.
Yes.
7:23 remaining in the first half. Jenkins will be at the line shooting 1, looking for the 3-point play when we return. A 4-point game. Bulldogs, the 5 seed on top of the 4 seed. Spartans at Norfolk State, 21-17, 7:23 remaining, alongside the legendary coach Cy Alexander. I'm Kip McConico. Glad to have you with us. Michael Jenkins, the redshirt freshman from Tarboro, North Carolina, at the line, looking for the 3-point play. But coach, it was a huge 12-point lead for the Bulldogs, but 4 turnovers in the last 4 minutes and 11 seconds by South Carolina State. That's really given an opportunity for the Spartans to get back in it.
And I tell you what, with the slow start the Spartans had over the last 5 minutes, they've come on right now. They are shooting 50% from the field and 100% from the free throw line. And we talked about one of the things that the Bulldogs needed to do was make 3-point shots. So far into the game, they are 0 for 6 from the 3 line. So Brunson, Treadwell, Johnson, those 3 guys are their primary 3-point shooters. Got to try to get it going, but give Norfolk State credit, the coaching staff credit. They weathered the storm, right back in the ball game now.
We talk about the parity this year in the MEAC. Take a look at this. Both teams 50% from the field. Both teams 100% from the free throw line. Both teams have not made a 3-pointer. They're a combined 0 of 8 from beyond the arc.
Spartans setting up, even though they missed the free throw, still setting up their 1-2-2 trapping defense.
Lost it. Clark comes up trying to shake it off. It's going to be a foul on Jenkins.
They really don't like that call. They thought the guy slipped. The officials didn't see it that way. He thought he got pushed.
It's actually going to be a foul on right forward, the graduate student from Bayshore, New York, transfer from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, picking up his first. But you can see the Spartans bench immediately on their feet.
Yes. They weren't feeling that call.
They thought Clark slipped. The officials saw otherwise. Spartans bringing new faces out as they do almost constantly, keeping everybody fresh on the floor for South Carolina State, I should say. Treadwell unable to find any space. On to Johnson with 1 second on the shot clock. He is fouled by McComb. 1 second on the shot clock. Johnson able to get a shot off, and he is going to have 3 free throws coming his way.
Bad mistake that time by the Norfolk State Spartans, but excellent shot recognition as Johnson kind of put the ball in his face to create the foul situation, and the official went for it, but he missed it. There it is right there. It was like he baited him into that foul.
Johnson at the line, shooting three. McComb picking up his first.
Johnson's a 73% free throw shooter. Got a chance to get this third one down.
After missing the first, hits the next two. 23-17, 6-point Bulldogs lead. Just under 7 minutes remaining, and thrown away out of bounds. It was right forward looking for McComb, but too tall for number 7.
Yeah, that was an unforced turnover. He should have been able to hit that guy. There was no pressure on him that time. It wasn't like he was being trapped. He just made a bad pass.
Coach, that is the 10th turnover by the Spartans.
Coach Jones got him out right away. Got Jamison back in the game.
Bulldogs. Johnson looking underneath. Tinabay out of bounds off the Bulldogs.
And in that particular move, that was a nice, unselfish pass, pocket pass by Johnson. But he got in the lane. I would have preferred to see him just go up with it, because he was there and was nobody really around him, but he saw Tinabay cutting the baseline, tried to hit him. It was a tough pass.
We've already seen that floater from him. He can certainly knock it down. Looking inside, off the fingertips of Ellis. One turnover begets another. Back to the Bulldogs it goes.
And again, the pressure from the Bulldogs is creating havoc for the Spartans.
That defense, you called it. That was one of your keys. How the Spartans handle that defense, that pressure defense. Step back fadeaway on the baseline, well off the mark that time. Ellis. McComb, the three in transition, sinks it.
Excellent blow by Ellis. Back pass in transition to McComb's three-point bucket.
McComb now 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Back to a three-point game.
He has to have a big game. He and Jamison, along with Ellis also.
Johnson takes a look up, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Johnson, there's the floater. Johnson, as the shot clock expires, able to knock it down.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. He got a lucky bounce that time. Ball bounced right back to where he was. He was able to knock the shot down with not much time left on the shot clock.
5-point game, just over 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Underneath, Johnson trying to get to it. Johnson, as the official was saying, it was Spartan ball. Looks like Ellis was last to touch it, and that is what Johnson was saying. Our crew is going to come together. We'll talk. And there's going to be the reversal after the conversation. They're going to give it to the Bulldogs. I think a good call from our crew there. You can tell Johnson immediately, he saw Ellis trying to make a play to keep it in.
Spartans back to that matchup zone. A little hollow action this time.
Morrow underneath and draws the foul. Does a Koji, and he will head to the line. Keontae Lewis picking up his first, and the big 7-1 Tim Okoji, junior from Frisco, Texas. They're in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
He's a long athlete with good hands. What he needs is strength. He needs to live in the weight room once basketball season is over.
Okoji, 7'1", listed at 225. That may be a bit generous.
Yeah, that's a bit generous.
The young man now at the line. Shooting two, we will see. He is just a 25% free throw shooter. Koji doing his job there. Makes the first. We saw it last night. Teams, you can see them turn it on here. Now Delaware State, Morgan State game. Delaware State made 11 of 12 free throws in the final 3:15 of overtime as Koji hits both here.
And he has a unique style. He only shoots with one hand, almost like Wilt Chamberlain in the days of when he shot it underhand. He and Rick Barry. So Koji knocks down. He beats the odds that time, going 2 for 2, a 25% free throw shooter.
And Koji, those are just the 25th and 26th free throws that he has attempted this season.
Bulldogs back to man-to-man, trapping all ball screens.
Jameson. Ellis from the free throw line sinks it.
And that's what Coach Rob Jones wants to see from Ellis, to be aggressive, because he has high major skills. Sometimes he just kind of falls asleep on the court, according to Coach Jones.
Treadwell for three. Looking for the putback, and they're going to get it. James Morrow there for the Bulldogs.
Big boy basketball that time by Morrow.
Right forward. And it's going to be an offensive foul on Dean Wright Ford. The Bulldogs able to draw the charge and a timeout taken. 3:58 remaining in the first. 29-22, Bulldogs on top.
For the big.
Bulldogs getting it done on offense, getting it done on defense, able to draw the charge. And we said their defense, I mean, they're what has led this team. And you consider the fact, Coach, that the Spartans are shooting 57% from the field, but they're still trailing by 7.
I just wrote that in my notes, Kit.
I wasn't copying off your paper, I promise.
Well, yeah, it's all good, you know, we partners. But shooting 57%, but the difference is 13 turnovers. That's eliminating that 57% field goal shooting, and those turnovers are a direct result of how hard the Bulldogs are playing on defense. Their trapping defense has been outstanding, and that was a great. I wasn't sure initially whether that was a charge or not, but after I looked at the replay, Johnson did an excellent job in getting there and creating the charge opportunity.
Yeah, Bulldogs set outside the circle, did everything they need to do. So 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. Both these teams looking for a final push to take into the locker rooms. Now to Johnson. He's been outstanding. 9 points to lead the Bulldogs. A perfect 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. 3 of 3 from the field. Underneath. What a look and an easy finish from Cameron Clark.
Great hollow pass, Morrow to Clark. Finished with a lob dunk. That gets the crowd going and the bench going.
Talk about the talent of Clark. He's certainly shown up here in the first half. They're going to need a full 40-minute effort. Spartans, the reason they've won 18 of the last 19 over the Bulldogs. Nice response to the floater in the lane from that was Michael Jenkins.
Nice little floater, nice little runner off one leg by Jenkins. He's going to be an excellent player again. He needs to live in the weight room also in the spring.
Jenkins just a redshirt freshman. Morrow for 3. Jenkins with the rebound.
Critical 3 minutes for South Carolina State.
Trying to get something going here. Lewis able to get it off to Jenkins. Difficult shot, and right on the spot was Ellis with the putback.
Strong offensive rebound that time by Devon Ellis. Right place at the right time.
Morrow. Jaden Johnson for 3.
Great shot preparation that time by Johnson. Held his follow through, got his feet set. 3-point bucket.
Jaden Johnson, perfect 4 of 4 from 3-point land. Leading his team with 12 points. Lewis. Making the extra pass. Ellis driving in. And will head to the line.
Great extra pass that time by Jenkins to Ellis. Nice dribble penetration. Created the foul.
Oh, Ellis again, he said, the extra pass, driving in, able to get around Clark, who picks up the foul. Ellis at the line. It's his second trip to the line today.
Perfect so far.
The Spartans have been good. They've missed just once in 7 attempts.
Right. And Ellis has been really solid tonight. And that's, again, what Coach Rob Jones wants from him. He's got a nice stat line.
A minute 36 remaining. 6-point game. Ellis in transition off to Leaks. One more, and Jenkins is fouled.
Excellent transition offense that time by the Spartans. The ball did not touch the floor but once or twice. Quick passes, seeing the open man, attacking. Here we go right here. Nice attack. Created the foul. Jenkins now goes to the line. 2 shots.
Owen Braunston committing the foul. Jenkins to the line. He is 0 of 1 previous to that shot tonight. Parker back on for the Bulldogs. Chris Parker, junior from Columbia, checking back in, as is Elijah Jameson for the Spartans. McComb back on the floor as well. Jenkins does his job from the charity stripe. 4-point game, 77 seconds remaining here in the first half.
A little 3-quarter court pressure by the Spartans.
Bay into the front court, able to find Treadwell. From the corner, Johnson continues to pour it in from long range. And a timeout taken by the Bulldogs. 60 seconds remaining in the first half. Back to a 6-point South Carolina State lead.
Laser stroke that time by Jaden Johnson. I think they're going to check and see whether it was a 2 or a 3. They called it a 2, but officials are taking a look to see if it was, in actuality, a 3.
Our crew taking a look. Rob Jones trying to get his men settled in. They trailed by as many as 12. They mounted the comeback. Trailing by 6
Looking
now.
at the 3-point shot. I need to see the 3-point shot in the corner.
Second quarterfinal here in the 2026 MEAC Homecoming Men's Basketball Tournament. Glad to have you with us here at the Norfolk Scope Arena in beautiful Norfolk, Virginia, alongside the legendary coach, Cy Alexander. No man has won more MEAC Men's Basketball Tournament titles. And, Coach, I think you're right. That's that eagle eye, toe on the line for Johnson.
It was a 2-point shot. It's right there. Pretty, and like you said, there's a lot of lines out here.
You've got the black, blue, red, white. They're trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, but he definitely was on one of them.
He was on one of them. He was indeed.
Yeah,
but Johnson, he's been impressive. He hasn't, even if that is a 2, he hasn't missed. He's been absolutely fantastic. And there's confirmation. Our officials saw exactly what you did. And there is going to be, that'll be a 2-point basket. So it'll be 35-30 Bulldogs on top.
See if the Bulldogs can create a turnover. They're setting up their 1-2. 1-2-2, 3-quarter. They'll try to trap here at half court. Dropping back to a straight man.
Jameson. 36-30.
And they're doing a great job of trapping ball screens.
Jenkins unable to respond. Rebound picked up by Wright. Has Parker underneath. Bulldogs wisely going to reset things. 15 seconds on the shot clock. 5 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Blocked by Lewis.
Big time block by Lewis. Great hustle getting on the floor.
Jordan leaks the other way. And a timeout taken by the Spartans moments before Wright was able to knock it away. So we'll say Spartans ball. 8.8 seconds remaining here in the first half. 6-point Bulldog lead.
Big possession right here. If the Bulldogs can stop them, they go into a halftime with obviously a 6-point lead. If Spartans able to score, it can either be a 4-point lead or a 3-point lead. So it's really, really big possession. And if the Bulldogs were to get a turnover and score, that would even be bigger.
Well, they've already forced 13 Spartan turnovers, and even though they have this lead, we mentioned it earlier, both teams shooting better than 48%. In fact, the Spartans shooting 56% from the field, 10 of 18, but those 13 turnovers have proved to be their undoing here in the first half.
Have been the difference, for sure.
Final opportunity, trying to cut this deficit before heading into the locker rooms for halftime.
And the Spartans only average, 12 turnovers a game, and they have 13 already.
Jameson.
And there it is, right there, the Bulldogs. That's a huge defensive play that time by Wright.
Make it 14 turnovers.
And we talked about fundamentally sound. The young man trying to catch the ball with one hand. That would drive me nuts as a coach. And he created a turnover, not reaching out with two hands.
Treadwell for three. Sinks it as the first half comes to a close. Noah Treadwell, the freshman from Atlanta, makes it a 9-point Bulldogs lead at the half. South Carolina State going in on a high note.
Unbelievable defensive play by Wright. Lackadaisical play by Jamison. Big time 3-point shot by Treadwell. And the Bulldogs lead 39-30.
Halftime here at the Norfolk Scope. We'll step aside. Second half and first half highlights when we return. with a 9-point lead over the 4-seed Norfolk State Spartans at the break. Very pleased to be joined by Alonzo Crittenden of Hampton Roads Transit now. There's been a very long and auspicious partnership between Hampton Roads Transit and the MEAC. And if you would just tell us a little bit about that and how it became originally to be a thing.
Sure. We have had a 10-year partnership. It started 10 years ago with the vision of the former commissioner, Dennis Thomas, and he wanted to bring more light to the MEAC and really push the brand out there. And we had the platform for them to do that. And one of the biggest things that we've been able to accomplish with that is our train. We have a train wrap that we indicate or show all of the MEAC schools on there, the MEAC conference. And it has been like an incredible experience with people actually seeing that brand. And I have a lot of schools that come up to me and say, hey, I see our train is out there. We love it. And, guys are doing great work.
Alonzo, I know this 10-year process has not been easy. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that so few people ever see. If I would just tell us more about that,
Sure.
what it's gone into this process.
Yeah, it has taken, it's taken us about 10 years to really develop a coordination between us that is a seamless process. But we have our marketing department, their marketing department, communications departments talking to each other, actually putting together, strategies and the programs and initiatives that drive this process, all the way down to the installation of the production that we put on the trains around the city. And we have to coordinate that. And we've been able to do that. And we really, really have gotten to the point where we've gotten very efficient at doing it.
Finally, Alonzo, what is the future of this partnership between the MEAC and Hampton Roads Transit?
Well, it's going to continue. We'll continue to do it. I have a commitment to HBC schools because both of my parents are graduates of it, and I feel an obligation to do that, and we will continue this partnership. And there are other things that we're going to do that are going to really promote it on a whole different level. So we look forward to continuing it.
Alonzo Crittenden of Hampton Roads Transit, the great partnership they have with the MEAC that has been 10 years, and it will certainly continue bigger and, I dare say, even more impressive things to come. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Halftime here in Norfolk. When we return, we'll take a look at our first half stats and highlights. A 9-point game at the break. South Carolina State on top. Second half here at the Norfolk Scope Arena in beautiful Norfolk, Virginia. 39-30, the 5-seed South Carolina State Bulldogs on top of the 4-seed Norfolk State Spartans. Alongside the legendary Coach Cy Alexander, I'm Kip McConico. Coach, the Bulldogs did their job as we take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. They came out, really set the tone. You said it. It's that pressing defense. They turned that defense and more specifically turnovers into that offense.
I tell you what, Norfolk State only averages about 12 turnovers a game, and in this so far in this game they're right at around 13 or 14. And that last turnover was inexcusable. It allowed the Bulldogs to take a 6-point lead up to a 9-point lead.
And ultimately, as we take a look, you see 17 points off the turnovers, 24 points in the paint for the Bulldogs. Those were the real keys, not just forcing the turnovers, but turning them into points.
Yes, and points in the paint, 24 for the Bulldogs. And that size that the Bulldogs have. They run these big guys in and out, and it has really been effective for the Bulldogs. First 5 minutes, Kit, are very, very important. Can you take a 9-point lead up to 15, or can you cut a 9-point lead down to 4 or 5 in the first 5 minutes? Let's see what happens.
Jaden Johnson, star sophomore point guard from the Bulldogs, leading all scorers, 14 points on 5 of 5 shooting. And there is Johnson on cue. He has been an absolute force. He's 3 of 4 from the line and perfect from the field.
And Coach Rob Jones sticks with his 6-man, not starting Jamison, even though they're down, keeping him on the bench.
Ellis spinning inside, finishes off the glass. Devon Ellis, need to get him going.
That was a big-time move that time, going downhill, spun, created the basket.
It's now 11 points, first Spartan in double digits. Looking to go underneath. Somehow kept alive. Nice work by the Bulldogs. We'll get it back to Johnson. Looking to find Akoji underneath. Working on Lewis. Akoji couldn't finish.
That would have been a big basket.
Leaks with the three.
That's a nice rebound by Akoji.
Well, Tim Akoji doing his work. That 7-foot 1-inch frame for the Frisco, Texas native. Johnson.
Oh, that's a nice little angle cut that time.
Driving in, Johnson. Very well defended by right forward, but another offensive rebound. Johnson fires for three and sinks it.
Boy, he's out of the firecracker tonight. Letting it ride with a lot of confidence.
Johnson, 17 points on 6 of 7 shooting.
Largest lead up to a 10-point lead in the second half.
Second half, Spartans needed to come out, but it's been the Bulldogs extending the lead. Baseline jumper off the mark, right forward. Another opportunity for McComb. And able to make the most of it and knocked away. Lewis bats it out of the hands of Hodge. Lewis kicks out, right forward, buries the three.
Nice shot preparation that time by right forward.
And apologies there, Adrian Newton, the freshman from the local product out of right here in Norfolk, burying the three there. Newton, that is his first field goal in the ball game.
That was a big one. Held his follow through, got his feet set, shot it with confidence.
Johnson, right back at him, responds. It continues to be the Jaden Johnson show. 19 points.
Tell you what, he's playing with an extreme amount of confidence.
Back in the hands of Newton. His opposite number defending.
Jaden is fearless tonight, has ice in his veins.
McComb going baseline, blocks. And a late whistle is he went right at James Morrow, and that may be a foul on Morrow. It will indeed. Morrow picking up his second. McComb will head to the line to shoot two. 9-point game, 3 minutes into the second half, and this is what you have to do. McComb taking matters into his own hands.
Yes. Do we have a technical foul? No, it's not. No, it's not a tech. It's just nobody's lining up on it.
There are only 2 Bulldogs
that kind of threw me off
flanking either side of the lane. Nobody from the Spartans as they make that line change.
They were waiting to sub in. That's what it was. I was thrown off there for a second.
You weren't the only one. Jamison Jenkins coming back on, as will number 21, Jaquel Morris, the senior from Brooklyn out of St. Peter's. So McComb does it from the line, no doubt about it. He continues to get it done. McComb now 11 points, perfect 4 of 4 from the line and 3 of 7 from the field.
And the Spartans are just playing straight full-court man now.
Jamison defending Johnson. And a whistle underneath. It's going to go against Cameron Clark.
Got him with the hook that time. It was a nice execution of a circle into a high-low, and they dropped it down to Clark, and he got called for hooking. Made it a little bit too obvious.
That's when it's a big man. You have to disguise it a little bit.
Yes,
you know what's going to happen, but you've got to disguise it.
Can't be so obvious with it.
7-point game here. Early stages of the second half. South Carolina State, a team that lost both regular season matchups to the Spartans and lost last year's championship game here. Spartans won, got the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament.
And it's like 18 out of 19 they've lost.
Yes, sir. That's the stat. Jamison drops it in.
A little razzle-dazzle with the ball that time was Jamison. Nice soft touch.
It's his second made field goal.
Johnson's really, really clever with that ball.
Edge of the paint, trying to get something. Tion Tyndall. And Tion Tyndall, the big freshman from South Carolina, flexes, showing off his muscle.
That was just bully basketball that time.
Well, you talked about it, the postseason. Big man basketball. And a quick response, but it rims out from Morris. Right there, couldn't finish. Johnson knifes through and draws the foul. Jaden Johnson, such a great change of gear. You see him floating, and then all of a sudden he can downshift, and he's by you in a blink of an eye.
Without a question, he's very skilled with the ball, and what he's doing tonight is he's shooting a three ball with a lot like Steph Curry. He's really shooting with range and confidence. That's a tough combination.
In the second half, South Carolina State, they've not had much success against Norfolk State. Norfolk State, they've been the team, we said it. Spartans won their third conference tournament championship last year. That was a third in 5 seasons. Won the automatic bid with that championship. Last time South Carolina State was in the tournament was back in 2003.
Who was the coach then?
I don't know. A gentleman, believe he's won a few ball games, if I recall. Obviously, that would be the man next to me, the one and only Cy Alexander. And Coach, I mean, I said it. You've won more MEAC men's basketball tournament championships than anyone else, and you know as well as anybody. Once you get to the tournament, the regular season, those previous 18 games we talked about, the winning streak, that's all out the window.
I tell you what, it's a new season, and if you're fortunate enough to get to the NCAA tournament, that's another new season. So, but give the Bulldogs credit. They've come out the first 5 minutes of this second half and really taking care of business. Jaden Johnson has been super tonight.
Johnson has certainly been the one as the foul drawn by Jamison.
And that's what Johnson has got to do. And looking at the stat line, he only has 6 points. He's got to get going. He, McComb, and Ellis, those 3 guys have got to score the basketball for the Spartans.
That'll send Elijah Jamison to the line, 6 points. On 2 of 4 shooting, now 3 of 3 from the line. This is the 57th all-time meeting between these two teams. Norfolk State with a lead, having won 37 of the previous 56. Has lost 19, but again, the past is the past, and everybody knows in the postseason that is the case, and really have to give Eric Martin credit. His team, they've come out. They are not worried about what's transpired this season.
And they're on a 2-game winning streak.
That's a great point. They've really picked it up. And underneath, Tenabe finishes, took the contact, and the Martinique native with his first field goal.
Strong move that time by Tenabe.
The island of Martinique there in the Caribbean. Jamison on to McComb. He and Ellis both with 11 points to lead the Spartans. McComb sweeping across and swatted out.
Don't bring that weak stuff in him, young man.
Tion Tyndall having none of it. The big 6'7".
And standing down after he blocked the shot.
And that's a freshman.
Yes. Look at the stare down.
Going up against one of the top players in the conference, first team All-MEAC honoree in McComb.
Look at the defensive intensity by the Bulldogs. It's outstanding.
They are really pouring it on now. Tenabe. Some of those familiar faces, Johnson, Hodge, not on the floor right now. Treadwell. Back to Tenabe, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Tenabe, one hand, and he's got it.
What an excellent step through that time without walking. by Tenebay. Florian Tenebay playing an outstanding game.
Tenebay, the senior transfer from Central Georgia Tech. And you look at this team, and Tenebay, he's seen action in all but one game this season, but only averaging just over 7 points a game.
And the Bulldogs are really, really playing with a lot of confidence, and they're playing hard, and they want to end this losing streak to the Spartans. And again, you go back to that championship game last year. Oh, nice drive that time.
Yeah, huge response there from right forward. Takes it himself. Johnson back on, and it's going to be an offensive foul against the Bulldogs. It's going to be on Tion Tyndall, the big freshman underneath. The Bulldogs will turn it over.
You got to be solid and set when you're setting that screen. You can't be moving.
A 9-point game, 13:42 remaining as big 7'1" junior Tim Okoji back on for the Bulldogs. Tyndall will get a break. Just haven't seen that outburst that we're so used to accustomed to seeing from the Spartans, and you wonder who's going to do it. McComb not on the floor right now. Could it be right forward? Rebound by Lewis. Keontae Lewis is fouled. Keontae Lewis, he's certainly the post presence at 6'9", 260, a big body down in the low block. We'll see if they can get it to him more.
Right forward seems to be pretty upset about something. I think he thought he got fouled, but he didn't. They didn't call it, so he didn't. But that was a nice rebound that time by Keontae Lewis.
Well, Lewis to the line, his first free throw attempts in the ball game. He's not attempted a field goal thus far. That's the senior from Richmond.
57% free throw shooter, 58% if you round it up.
Tenebay coming off 2 assists right now, leading the Bulldogs. A lot of basketball remaining, over 13 minutes left. But with Johnson back on the floor, Spartans have not had an answer for number 10 in blue. 21.7 of 8 from the field.
He's having an outstanding game.
Treadwell calling out the screen for Parker. Treadwell able to knock it down. Jenkins blocked.
Great interior defense that time by the Bulldogs.
Johnson likes this matchup, has the 6'9" Lewis away from the bucket. Johnson taking him, but couldn't finish. And blocked. Lewis coming in. Treadwell couldn't bring the Bulldog fans as things really starting to open up here. Right forward.
Nice up and down pace and space basketball right now.
Back to a 6-point game. And the fans really starting to get into it here at the Norfolk Scope. You can feel it. This is MEAC basketball at its finest.
March Madness, my man.
The winner, automatic bid in the NCAA tournament.
Loser goes on spring break.
Could be the final game of your collegiate career for those seniors. Parker across. Okoji. The putback and the foul for big Tim Okoji.
Nice offhand, strong two-handed rebound. Kissed it off the glass and got fouled.
And the 7'1" junior center will be at the line when we return. 54-46, Bulldogs on top. Looking to spring the upset, even though it's just a 4-5 matchup. And these two teams met last year in the championship. Bulldogs just one win in the previous 19 matchups between these two. Tim Okoji, all 7'1" of him underneath. off the miss, and that is what you want from a 7'1" center. Going hard off the glass, finishes, and now a chance for the three-point play.
Yes, nice hands, nice body control. He's got a chance to be a player. He just needs to live in the weight room. He's got broad shoulders. He runs the floor very well, catches the ball very well. Got a bright future. Big free throws for Mr. Okoji. Take this lead up to 9.
Okoji, he's 2 of 2 from the line thus far.
He's got the different free throw style.
But so far it works.
It's working today.
Something another fellow Texan who went to high school there, Shaquille O'Neal, may have improved his free throw percentage. Who knows? But Okoji so far perfect from the line.
The Bulldogs are showing some. Now they showed zone and went first pass, went right back to man. It kind of confused the Spartans just for a second or two. He's got a shot clock about to run down.
3 seconds on the shot clock. Lewis off the mark and a shot clock violation against the Spartans. You and I talked about it earlier this week. This South Carolina State defense, you and I were kind of going back and talking about Nolan Richardson when he was with the University of Arkansas. They used to call it 40 minutes of hell.
Right.
They put their opponents under so much pressure, and you see that, particularly as you get close to the end of a ball game. If you're trailing, I mean, it is nonstop, relentless defensive pressure.
And that's the thing that Coach Martin talks about constantly is the defensive pressure and playing a number of people. Great offensive rebound that time by James Morrow. And he gets fouled on the play.
The junior from Jacksonville, another chance for a three-point play. Okoji did it previously, now Morrow a chance to follow suit. And it's not just the defense, but the offense. The South Carolina State shooting 49% from the field. And they are
almost 90% from the free throw line.
Just about to say, 8 of 9 from the charity stripe.
You're talking about a team that can feel it. You can see the intensity level increasing and the confidence increasing as the Bulldogs, play in this second half. And it's one thing to come into Norfolk and be playing like this against the defending champions in their home environment, so to speak.
You're right about that. A lot of green and gold here on display at the Scope. Spartans in their home city, very well supported. EJ across, couldn't finish, but the putback from Keontae Lewis.
That was much needed that time.
Much needed indeed. Lewis trying to be that energy, that spark that gets the comeback going. Morrow from the elbow. Nice touch from James Morrow.
Excellent feed, excellent shot. Nice shot preparation, held his follow through.
Morrow really picking up things right now with Johnson on the bench, getting a break. That would be the question for the Bulldogs. Who's going to step up with Jaden Johnson not on the floor? Back to Lewis. Too easy. And a quick timeout taken by the Spartans. 10:01 remaining, back to a 10-point game.
And the Bulldogs did what we talked about. The first 5 minutes of the second half, they held their own. They actually, now with 10 minutes left to go in the game, you've increased it by 1 point because you go into halftime leading by 9, and now with 10 minutes to go, you're leading by 10.
Yeah, so much parity between these two teams. But it's a 10-point lead for the Bulldogs trying to take down their rivals. 10 minutes to go. Can they do it? 1 remaining in regulation. A 10-point South Carolina State lead. Coach, you and I were taking a look at the stats. I mean, it is so similar. 50%, 49% from the field. 90%, 88% from the line. Rebounds, 24-20 in favor of the Bulldogs. The one difference, and you and I talked about this more than once, 15 turnovers by the Spartans, and it's not just the 15 turnovers, it's the fact that Bulldogs have turned them into points.
And exactly, that's what got the Bulldogs the lead. And after they got the lead, the game has been relatively even, but those turnovers got the Bulldogs off and running and got their confidence going.
That's been the difference. They've had the lead, and they have not looked back.
And then give a lot of credit to the young man with the ball, Mr. Johnson. He's had an outstanding game.
He's back on the floor, 21 points on 7 of 9 shooting. Jaden Johnson put on a show, has the sophomore out of Brooklyn. Johnson, as the shot clock expires, Johnson, ears ringing.
He is playing like the preseason player of the year today.
Out of Cushing Academy in Massachusetts, he is putting on a show. Ellis, unable to respond with a 3 of his own underneath. Jenkins there, Elijah Jamison, with the rebound, and he will head to the line. And that's the question, who's going to do it? Obviously, you have so much talent on this team. You have McComb, you have Jenkins, you have Jamison. Maybe it is going to be Elijah Jamison.
I tell you what, he went in there amongst the trees that last time and got that offensive rebound and created a foul situation.
Jamison to the line, where he's a perfect 4 of 4 tonight. Now 9 points for number 2 in the green and gold.
Every possession now for the Spartans, both offensively and defensively, is magnified.
Treadwell back on for the Bulldogs. Jamison continues to take care of business from the line.
You've got to make sure that your defensive assignments are on point. You're communicating, your head's on a swivel, and you're allowing one shot only, and you're getting the shot every time down and potentially getting a second shot at it, because you're under 10 minutes to go in the second half and you're down 11 points.
These two teams have been amazing from the free throw line. They combined 28 free throws. They have missed just 3 combined. Leaks with the rebound. Spartans looking to run. Underneath, finds Ellis. And 1 for Devontae Ellis. Devon Ellis.
That play was made by Weeks as he pushed the basketball, and he got a great pass to Ellis. Ellis did a nice head and shoulder fake, concentrated through the contact, finished at the rim.
We talked about Devon Ellis, how talented he is, but he can kind of disappear at times in a game. With 8:34 remaining, he's the one they need to play his best 8:34 of the season.
Without a question.
Talented indeed, the Illinois native, the senior transfer from Valpo.
4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight.
Free throw shooting continues to impress. Both teams right at 90% from the charity stripe. Back to an 8-point game. Spartans applying some pressure. Treadwell for 3. And Leaks thought he had it, but it's going to be a foul on the rebound against the Spartans. Jamison, Norfolk State can't believe it, and that's going to be charged to Anthony McComb III.
I want to see that replay to see where the foul was. I just saw a great hustle that time by Leaks. Here we go, right? Really couldn't tell.
And some contact with McComb on Morrow, as McComb picks up his second. Not a lot in it. Treadwell for 3. Noah Treadwell, the freshman, continues to contribute now with 8 points. Jamison. We said it, who's going to do it for the Spartans?
And if you don't get that call against you, you don't get the 3-point basket. That's a big call. And big-time shot. Give credit to Treadwell, freshman.
Elijah Jamison on the other end. I mean, he is the fastest player we've seen coming up the floor, ball in his hands, but you said it. That foul on the other end turned into a 3-pointer by Treadwell. Those are the breaks.
Yeah. You're
going to get some calls. You're going to have some go against you, but what do you do with them?
Yeah, you got to take advantage.
And Jamison back to the line. He's a perfect 6 of 6 Again, both teams 90% from the free throw line.
Great exhibition of free throw shooting tonight in this first round game. Two teams playing really, really well. And these 802, last 802 is going to be really, really, I think, competitive.
Bulldogs with 20 points off of turnovers. That's the difference right now. Bay. Good look. Morrow underneath, couldn't get the putback, but the second chance opportunity is Derwin Hodge Jr. for the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs eating that glass.
Bulldogs winning the rebounding battle, making the most of it. An 11-point game. Spartans cannot afford to trade baskets at this point. Need some stops. Ellis turned over. Bay. Johnson driving in, and one for Jaden Johnson.
What a sequence that time. You get a nice offensive rebound, then you come down and you get a steal, you push it, and you potentially got a three-point play with Jaden Johnson.
Johnson came into the game averaging 13 points. He has 26, and he'll be at the line when we return. Take a look at our impact moment of the game, brought to you by Army ROTC. Great ball movement and Big Tim Okogie with the flush. We've seen it all night from the Bulldogs, unselfish.
Great ball movement, making the extra pass, and letting Mr. Okogie do his thing at the rim, big fella.
Not too difficult when you're wide open at 7'1". Okogie, he's had a great game though. Give him full credit.
And the Bulldogs as a whole have played exceptionally well. And I'm watching their body language. They're talking, they're communicating. They seem to be totally focused. And that's what you have to be in tournament play.
Johnson at the line where he's 5 of 6 tonight. Leads all scorers with 26 points on 9 of 11 shooting. Rare miss there from Johnson. Still a 13-point lead. Just over 7 minutes remaining. Bulldogs looking for this victory, book their spot in the semifinals. Saw an upset last night in our first quarterfinal. The number 7 seed Delaware State taking down the 2 seed Morgan State. Leaks the rebound off the miss. Another opportunity out to Jamison for 3. He couldn't finish. Spartans getting a third chance here in this possession.
There you go.
McComb blocked. Coming from behind, Derwin Hodge Jr. And who else but Johnson in transition.
That was a big-time block, and the Bulldogs have 4. Well, they have 5 blocks now. Coming out of the timeout, they had 4. Hodge with another one. They're getting it done in every aspect. Winning the rebounding battle.
Leaks well off the mark on the baseline jumper. Right now, you wonder if the Bulldogs will start to slow it down with this big lead and just 6 minutes remaining.
Yeah, you now be talking about time and score. Playing every possession, utilizing the clock, making Norfolk have to work on the defensive end.
Tinabay from the elbow. Florian Tinabay with 6 points. McComb, just 11 points for the first team all-conference honoree, and Johnson fouled, and it's going to be on McComb, and that is going to be his 3rd.
They're still not in the bonus just yet. One more and they'll be in the bonus.
Yeah, just the 16th foul there. Bulldogs having committed 8, but the Bulldogs on a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So we've seen this so often tonight from the Bulldogs. They go on these runs, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. Spartans just haven't been able to respond.
might have got away with a travel that time.
Yeah, Spartans bench immediately pointing to the feet of Cameron Clark, and you're right, he may well have gotten away with one. But time starting to become a factor. A 15-point game, 5:20 remaining.
Every possession, both offensively and defensively, is critical now for the Spartans. And what the Bulldogs have got to do is take care of the basketball, knowing that pressure is going to be coming by the Spartans, and step up to the line and make your free throws.
Our officials are going to come and take a look at that previous play. And with that, again, we take the opportunity to thank you, wherever you may be joining us from. 55th year of intercollegiate competition here.
It's challenging the
out-of-bounds
play.
Headquartered right here in Norfolk, Virginia. Coach, you've been a part of this league for so long. You know it better than anybody. But we just had the feeling coming into this tournament, the parity, the talent from top to bottom, things could get wild, and they have already.
I tell you what, you had a 7 beating a 2, and there's a chance that a 5 is going to be the 4. So anything's possible. That's like we said, it's March Madness for sure.
And maybe on paper, a 5 beating a 4, if that indeed comes to pass, not too eye-opening, but as you said, we've said it many times, when you consider that the Bulldogs have just one win over the Spartans in the last 19 games, that's a different deal.
See, the law of averages.
Yes, sir. That's it.
The law of averages is on the Bulldogs side. And sooner or later, it had to happen. You know what I'm saying?
At some point.
When I was coaching, I told you this in the car, and I'm not trying to throw mud or anything, but when I was at South Carolina State, we beat Bethune-Cookman 21 straight times. So I knew at some point, it was gonna happen. But so the Bulldogs are ready to as we talk about breakthrough, as Pat Riley, it's time for a breakthrough against Norfolk, and they've been totally focused all night long from the tip. It's been Bulldogs
Call on the floor.
Day here.
The ball is Norfolk State. It hit Blue's hand last. Norfolk State will receive the ball underneath the basket with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Came off of the Bulldogs. It'll be Norfolk State ball underneath the basket with 5:20 remaining. Coach Jones having a few words there with Elijah Jamison. He's been outstanding. You have 3 Spartans in double digits. Ellis leading the way with 14, Jamison 12, McComb with 11. But you've got 26 from Johnson, and right now he is the only Bulldog in double digits.
And McComb comes into the ball game averaging right at 17, 18 points a game, and only getting 11 right now. That's a big difference. You're talking about 6 points that they don't have right now.
Jamison trying to make things happen, taking matters into his own hands. There's no foul. And Coach Martin calling his Bulldogs over to the sideline. Our officials may review this call as well. Originally called off from South Carolina State, and indeed they will. Our officials going to come over and take another look at the previous foul. Again, Haywood Bostic, Galen Durant, CJ Middlebrooks, our crew for today. And I said it before, we have the best teams, we have the best officials, and Coach, you know this, but you're in a different seat. You're not on the bench anymore. We have some great officials in this league.
Yes, sir. And I don't envy an official. It's a tough job because you got everybody scrutinizing everything that you do, and you're never right. And it's a tough job. And I give these guys a lot of credit. And, they do an excellent job in managing the basketball game.
The only job I know of where no matter how good of a job you do, 50% of the people are always going to think you're terrible.
Right, yes, sir.
Take one more look. Again, initially ruled to come off of the Bulldogs. And Jamison coming in, I think it was Morrow there said the last man who touched it. We'll get another angle here. I don't know. Didn't see a fingertip of number 22 in blue on it. We'll see what our officials see. I will defer to them. I'm very happy to sit next to you as a broadcaster and let them do their job on the floor.
Yes, sir. Looks like it's against Norfolk. Looks like it. Looks like.
And the initial ruling on the floor was that it came off the Bulldogs. But Coach Martin, he immediately pulled his team off the floor. He brought him to the sideline, and they're still over there chatting. Spartans are already back on the floor.
It is overturned. It is blue ball.
So they're going to overturn it. It's going to be Bulldogs
basketball.
ball. Good work there from our officials.
Yeah, you can see it right on the replay.
Yeah, nicely done. Our officials coming together, took another look, conferring. It'll be Bulldogs ball. 72-57, 5:18 remaining. And Treadwell back on. Radial right there. And a quick inbound turned over. Jamison able to force it. Jamison and one. He's been the man. As much talk about McComb, it's been about EJ today for the Spartans.
And without a question, he's come to play, and they actually need more from McComb, but give Jamison a lot of credit. He is really fighting through and being very, very aggressive. 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Only thing he hadn't done is shot it really well from the three-point line.
Reigning 6th player of the year in the conference. You can certainly see why. Elijah Jamison, he can change a game. The senior from North Carolina, transfer from UNC Wilmington. Perfect 8 of 8 from the line. Make it 9 of 9. So Jamison leading the Spartans with 15 points. And a quick timeout taken. South Carolina State, they will take it. A 30-second timeout, talk things over. Well, they're actually going to say it a full timeout with 5:13, and we'll step aside. 72-60, Bulldogs on top, trying to hold on and book their spot in the semifinals. Coach, this is the first game in our doubleheader today in the quarterfinals. We've got another good one coming up. Least we forget, North Carolina Central, the Eagles, they will be facing off against the Hawks of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. That's our nightcap. We'll have another nightcap for you tomorrow. You can find that full schedule at MEACsports.com. But we said it last night, an overtime game in the first game of the tournament. That has set the bar so high. We're living up to it, though. Something about the MEAC tournament. When the lights shine the brightest, we see the best.
I tell you what, these teams have come to play, and these last 5-12 going to be very, very interesting as you see how the Bulldogs handle pressure and how they shoot their free throws are going to determine the outcome of this game.
Spartans just one of their last 9 from the field. Need to get something going. Time very much a factor with 5 minutes remaining. Johnson back on, as you would imagine.
Bulldogs have gone now what they call their spread offense. It's a 5-out motion.
Tenebe, 3 seconds on the shot clock, and he is fouled. Florian Tenebe heads up. He saw there was little time, forced the issue, and he's going to get a trip to the line.
And he's been very, very solid tonight, Tenebe has. He's made very good decisions, and sometimes, you know, I see him play with not a lot of confidence. Tonight he's been playing with a lot of confidence, has Mr. Tenebe.
Tenebe averaging 6.7 points a game. He's right at that, 6 points in 22 minutes. But you said it, he's been solid. Ball in his hands, makes the right decisions. Tenebe attempting his first free throws of the night.
That shot really didn't look good that time. The form was not there. You got to break your wrist, put that index finger in the basket. Let's see what happens on this second one. He did it. Broke his wrist, held his follow through.
Took your advice, 1 of 2 in that trip to the line. Koji back on for the Bulldogs. Big presence in the paint. Jameson looking to work around the screen. McComb able to find Ellis, blocked from behind.
6 blocks by the Bulldogs. That size has been intimidating.
And it's going to be a foul on Jordan Leaks as he got tangled up with Jaden Johnson.
And the Bulldogs will be in the bonus over the next 4:20.
The Bulldogs in the bonus. Both teams right now. South Carolina State having committed 9 fouls, 8 by the Spartans. So 1-1 for Mr. Johnson, who's 5 of 7 from the line. The sophomore, he's showing up. They call him Super Softs, and I think he's certainly living up to that moniker tonight.
He's been box office tonight, kid.
Jameson the other way, right to Johnson. That's a mistake you cannot afford to make with just over 4 minutes remaining. Tinabay tied up and traveled. Great work defensively. The pressure from the Spartans forces the turnover. The 13th turnover by the Bulldogs tonight.
And the Bulldogs lost their first 12 games in a row to start the season off. And I just give a lot of credit to Coach Martin and his coaching staff to keep these young men believing in themselves. When you talk about 12, they were 0-12, but they are now playing like a champion.
You say that. We'll take a look at some of those teams who. Take a look at our player of the game, brought to you by Wells Fargo. 26 points on 9 of 12, shooting 5 rebounds, 2 assists for the sophomore from Brooklyn.
He has been box office tonight, without a question.
He has been outstanding. Coach, you talked about some of those losses that South Carolina State took early at Mizzou, at South Carolina, at Tennessee, and at Queens, a Royals team who won their conference and are making their trip to the tournament. And those losses may well have prepared them for this gauntlet that is the MEAC and for this tournament.
Obviously it did, and and again, I have to give Coach Martin and his staff, they kept those guys believing in each other. And even though you say that you're playing against a high level or high major opponent, it's still a loss. And you got to go in and not, beat the guy up, but lift him up and show all the positives in your film work. And I think they did a good job of keeping these guys engaged and keeping them focused, knowing that the goal at the end of the rainbow was to be what they're doing now.
Jameson, he's been a bright spot, 17 points for EJ. McComb. As Leaks out to Jameson, another 3. Another rebound for Leaks. Jameson high off the glass over Koji. Jameson trying to take matters into his own hands. And Tinabay fouled upon reception of the inbounds pass. Anthony McComb III picking up his 4th. And South Carolina State now in the double bonus.
Make free throws. Make free throws.
And you said it. If you can make your free throws, you build yourself an early lead, which the Bulldogs have done. Make your free throws.
Handle pressure and make free throws over the next 3:09. You got a chance to be playing on Friday night.
Tinabay. 2 of 3 now from the line. Every point precious right now. Chinebe hits them both. 77-64, 3:09 remaining.
And this defense has really kept Norfolk off rhythm all night. They've been outstanding in their effort level, in their traps, playing hands high. Been very fundamentally sound defensively.
Leaks for three, and he's got it. Jordan Leaks, the redshirt sophomore from Hampton, knocks down the triple and makes it a 10. An immediate timeout taken by the Spartans. Coach, it was your first key. Are we going to see how the Spartans could handle the trapping defense of South Carolina State? That was the first thing you put out there, and that has really been the key to tonight.
That's been the key to the game, because we knew that South Carolina State is going to play the way they play. And the way they play is all-out traps, 40 minutes of trapping, pressure, and if you're not ready for that, you'll have problems. And obviously, Norfolk came out and allowed the traps to take advantage.
Please. So again, in case you missed it, our player of the game, no real debate here, Jaden Johnson, brought to you by Wells Fargo. He has been outstanding. 26 points on 9 of 12 shooting, perfect 3 of 3 from beyond the arc, and 5 of 8 from the line. You also add to that 5 rebounds and 2 assists. He's really set the tone.
And he was the preseason player of the year.
A quick foul. It's going to be on Leaks, and that is his third. 2:42 remaining. South Carolina State, a 10-point lead, just comes down to taking the opportunities from the line, and that'll be Hernell Wright, the junior from Inglewood, California, by way of West LA College.
And Johnson's been a bucket waiting to happen tonight. Shooting a very high percentage, 9 of 12 from the perimeter, 3 of 3 from the three line, and 5 of 8. And 5 rebounds for a guy 6'1".
Pretty impressive outing. The winner of this one will take on the 1 seed, Howard University Bison. The Bison won the regular season, and so they get a bye until tomorrow night in the semifinal. They are waiting, watching, no doubt, scouting his coach Blakeney and his staff.
And on the 3rd of January, Howard beat South Carolina State 58-57 in Orangeburg.
McComb sinks the 3. Spartans not done yet.
And then in Washington, they handled them relatively decisive, 85-57.
Chinebe fouled. Johnson able to get that pass in the nick of time. So Leaks picks up his 4th, and Chinebe back to the line shooting 2. Don't forget, this is just the first game we have for you tonight. We'll have our final MEAC tournament quarterfinal coming up. That features the 3 seed North Carolina Central University Eagles and the 6 seed University of Maryland Eastern Shore Hawks. The winner of that game will take on the winner of last night's quarterfinal, a upset from the 7th seeded Delaware State Hornets, taking down the 2 seed Morgan State Bears. So the Hornets wait. What we saw from them last night, they can make a run.
Tell you what, Miles Webb did an excellent job last night, and you got to think that Ponce James is going to, bring his A game tomorrow.
Coach, we talked so much about free throws. That game between the Hornets and the Bears went to overtime. In the final 3:51 of overtime, the Hornets made 11 of 12 free throws.
That's big time. That got them to playing on Friday.
That was the key, at least in the overtime period. McComb unable to hit this one. Treadwell. And it's going to be Bulldogs ball.
2 minutes to go, 11-point lead. Handle pressure, make free throws, and the Bulldogs can get out of here. Norfolk's got to create some turnovers and some quick scoring opportunities.
Tenebe into the front court. Time very much a factor here, and there's the intentional foul by Jamison. That is going to send right to the line. South Carolina State, they're 50% from the field. They are 28% from three and 77% from the line. Not a bad combination.
And I tell you what, they've done the job offensively and defensively. 6 blocks tonight at the rim.
Right. They're able to do it. Yeah, their defense, that has really been the tone setter. They came out from the very beginning. They wasted no time from the opening tip.
And Wright is only a 50% free throw shooter, so he's a good person to foul, you know, for the Spartans.
And Wright, true to form, hits 1 of 2 in that trip. As Wright will come off, Okoji back on, an offense for defensive substitution for the Bulldogs. McComb out to Leaks for 3. Morrow with the rebound. Bulldogs in no hurry. Tenebe, not a bad man to have the ball in his hands. He's 5 of 6 from the line. Johnson, 5 of 8.
He walked.
You called it before the officials did.
I tell you what, that was like he ran with that one. If they don't call that, I don't know what they can call.
Well, Coach, if you want a third career from coaching to broadcasting, hey, officiating maybe. No? It doesn't interest you?
That's not in my future.
All right, I figured I'd just throw it out there.
I got you.
You've been good at everything else you've done. Why not that? Jamison for 3. Sinks it. So EJ now 22 points to lead the Spartans, but is it enough? Under a minute remaining. Stolen away, Jamison. McComb fouled, and Okoji is going to send Anthony McComb III to the line where he will be shooting 3.
So he's got 3 shots. That was a great defensive play that time by the Spartans. McCombs so far tonight.
He's just
4 for 4 from the McComb is 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
Just 4 of 14 from the field, 13 points, but he's knocked him down from the line. Coach Martin looking on, just trying to get out of this final 49 seconds. A rare miss.
That's a big miss right there for McComb. Every point counts at this point.
79% free throw shooter. That's his first miss tonight. Bulldogs fans making some noise here. McComb comes back, and now 1 of 2 with 1 free throw remaining. 49 seconds. That is a lot of time in basketball. A whole lot can transpire. The Bulldogs need to be very well aware of that. Definitely need to keep their foot on the pedal and keep their focus on the floor. So McComb, 2 of 3.
Right forward in for McComb the 3rd.
Seven-point game. Tenebe, 2 there immediately. Able to find Wright. Now Treadwell. And a quick foul is going to send the freshman Noah Treadwell to the line.
And he's shooting right at 69% from the free throw line.
Treadwell, he's not attempted a free throw tonight.
Right.
Has 8 points on 3 of 9 shooting.
Going to the line for the Bulldogs will be Super.
But you never know, a freshman, the bright lights. We'll see what the young man from Atlanta can do.
Yep. That didn't look good from the very beginning. Kind of rushed it. Guys, take your time, young fella.
Koji back on. Treadwell trying to make it an 8-point Bulldogs lead. Unable to do so, misses them both. Jamison flying up the floor, and he finishes. Jamison with 24 points. Is it too little, too late? Johnson, who else? That's the man you want with the ball in his hand.
Definitely. And
that is going to be the 5th on Elijah Jamison. So Jamison will foul out. 24 points on 6 of 12 shooting. A perfect 11 of 11 from the line. Also 5 rebounds for Jamison.
He had a big-time game. Played with a lot of guts tonight. Took the ball to the rim strong. Made his free throws. Shot 50% from the field. Now you've got Johnson, his counterpart, who's the player of the game, had an outstanding night and makes the free throw. He's been ice water tonight. Box office.
Now 6 of 9 from the line. You said it. He knows a thing about the bright lights coming from Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
You're from the city. You've got to play. There's no debate there. Hits them both. So Johnson does his job. 83-76. Right forward. Okogie may have gotten a piece of it another time. Okogie there again. And it's going to be Bulldogs ball.
That's 8 blocks. Okogie's been dominant on the inside tonight.
Okogie with 5 of the 8 Bulldogs blocks.
Bill Russell out here.
7'1" junior from the Lone Star State. Tim Okogie getting it done defensively. Comes off. Shot clock turned off. 21.1 seconds remaining, and the Bulldogs, a team that has beaten the Spartans just once in the last 19 meetings, looking for a huge win and, more importantly, a bit of revenge after falling to them in last year's championship game.
Yes.
The Bulldogs, last year was their first championship appearance in 22 years. They want to get back to that stage.
Yep. And tell you what, it should be a great game on Friday because, one, you got a team that's been out here and got their feet wet, understand what tournament play is all about, and you got a Howard University team that has proven to be, the #1 seed. But just like we talked about last night when we talked about Morgan and Delaware State, even though Howard beat South Carolina State twice, they only beat them by 1 point one time. And so the Bulldogs know that they can play with the Bison.
They certainly do, Tenebay.
And how the Bison start and how they handle this pressure is going to be critical, because if the Bulldogs can get out to a big, not necessarily a big lead, but an 8 to 9 point lead against Howard.
McComb fires for 3. He's got it. An immediate timeout taken by Coach Ford and the Spartans. 10.8 seconds remaining, a 6-point game. Spartans not going down without a fight.
Yeah, they are. That's a big shot by McComb that time.
Well, McComb starting to bring it up. 18 points now. But Coach, 10.8 seconds remaining, 6-point game. This one coming to the wire. And we saw last night, it looked like Delaware State had it in regulation. Morgan came back, they forced overtime, and in overtime, anything can happen.
Yes, anything can happen.
Spartans need a pair of 3s, but it's not out of the question. Again, we remind you, this is just our first game tonight, our second quarterfinal. It'll be the 3 seed North Carolina Central Eagles taking on the 6 seed Maryland Eastern Shore Hawks. That one's slated to tip ESPN Plus, and then another doubleheader for you tomorrow. Howard awaiting the winner of this game, and the Hornets of Delaware State awaiting the winner of that North Carolina Central Maryland Eastern Shore matchup.
This should be an excellent matchup tonight against in our second game, the Eagles from North Carolina Central University with outstanding coach Lavelle Moten, and the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Fighting Hawks with head coach Cleo Hill Jr.
Looking forward to that. Treadwell. Foul, just about a second coming off the clock. And the freshman Noah Treadwell heading to the line where he's 0 of 2 tonight. We've spoken so much about Johnson for good reason, but give Morrow credit. He has 11 points on 4 of 5 shooting, does James Morrow, and boy, and Teneve as well. 13 points. That's almost double his season average.
It was a team effort tonight, and they all bought into the fact that we've got to defend. They all bought into that fact, and they came out here at a high level of intensity on defense.
And the tone was set early.
Yes.
That was really the key. South Carolina State wasted no time. They came out. They leveled the big haymaker early on. They forced the Spartans to respond. Took the big lead, led by as many as 12 in the first half. And Treadwell doing his part from the line.
South Carolina State still pressing with
9
seconds.
We said it's going to be 40 minutes, not 39 and a half.
40 minutes of full court pressure.
McComb for 3. Well, McComb heating up, maybe too little too late with just 3.2 seconds remaining. Back to a 5-point game. And fouled is Wright, able to come away with the ball. And that's the first thing. You're under that much pressure. Secure the ball, then worry about the next step.
Catch it strong. That's just like at halftime. That was a big play at half. When you're talking about it, the 6-point lead with 8 seconds to go. And Jameson, as well as he played, was lackadaisical on trying to catch the ball with one hand. They steal it. Treadwell hits a 3, and now you're down 9 versus being down 6. That was a big play in the whole scheme of things.
A massive swing. You think about that. Had the Spartans been able to score, they could have cut it to 4, conceivably even 3 at halftime.
Exactly.
But instead, that 3 knocked down by the Bulldogs, and they took a 9-point lead into half. Leaks with a heave at the buzzer, but it is not going to be enough as the 5-seed South Carolina State takes down the 4-seed Norfolk State. They have lost the last 3 in a row to the Spartans, and they have just 1 win in the last night. It's about the Bulldogs' revenge for the men from the Palmetto State.
I'll tell you what, the Bulldogs came ready to defensively. They got it done, and you can wipe that record away now because it doesn't really mean anything now. It's 1-0 as far as the Bulldogs are concerned. Looking forward to playing the Howard University Bison on Friday.
It's postseason basketball. It's the MEAC tournament. 2 games in, both upsets here in the quarterfinals. And here's how things shape up. Coach, you said at 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. The regular season champion Bison of Howard taking on these Bulldogs of South Carolina State. Who's going to face the Hornets of Delaware State? We'll see coming up in our next game between NC Central and Maryland Eastern Shore. That'll do it for us. Big thanks to our entire crew. For the legend sitting next to me, Coach Cy Alexander, I'm Kip McConico saying good night from the Norfolk Scope Arena in beautiful Norfolk, Virginia. The final, South Carolina State Bulldogs 88, Norfolk State Spartans 82. Bulldogs with the win, and they move on.